Hey, so my camera just turned itself off because it overheated, the whole computer overheated. So let's go back to where we were. We were going to do our crescent moon. So I'm here lying down. I've got my legs my feet to the opposite, to the outer edges of the mat. And I'm going to lie down. I'm going to bring my right foot towards my left foot. Now I can keep the right foot on the floor, or I can cross it over the top of the left foot, or I can cross the left foot over the top of the right. And those are absolutely interchangeable. So I'm also going to take my arms over my head. I'm going to grab my right wrist with my left hand. And I don't have to keep my arms straight. They can be bent and relaxed. And I'm just going to move my upper back just slightly over to the left. So I've moved my right foot over to the left. I've moved my upper back over to the left. But what I want to make sure is that the back of my pelvis and my shoulder blades are both nice and flat. Now, if you need some support under, especially this right arm, you could grab a blanket. And this one is one that it feels quite strong and quite quickly. So you want to really keep to your gentle stretch. So if you feel a gentle stretch now, that's great. If you feel a strong stretch now, that's going to feel ever so strong after a few minutes. So then you can either look up to the sky or turn your head to the left, whatever feels good. You could even move the back of your head over to the left a little bit, and that would give another kind of side bend to the neck. And then just let go. Just let yourself be held here in gravity. It's not a big agenda of having to achieve anything really strong. I'm just sinking back in. You try and provide an environment where stillness is just a natural phenomenon. If you're not still, if you're fidgety, that's absolutely fine. Some bodies just want to move around a little bit, but you're trying to provide that environment where you can dip into stillness. I think it takes practice, and it's not even, some people will practice forever and still find being still and quiet difficult. So you're just providing the environment where relative stillness is achievable for you. You can use different anchors to help you stay. So your breath is a really good anchor. Just tapping into your breath, just having a look at the breath. You don't even have to do any specific breathing practices, but just watching as you breathe in, feeling sensations as you breathe in and out. Seeing if you can lengthen the exhalation and feel that creep sensation of muscles just letting go. You can also use sensation itself as an anchor, tracing sensations. You can think about where the strongest sensation is that you're feeling, and then you can trace that down and up and front and back and see where you're feeling even the smallest of sensations. Giving your mind something to do will often help you stay in a pose for longer. Hopefully not overriding any pain. Pain is a really good sign to come out. And then taking your lovely 3 deep full breaths, and just knowing that these are the last 3 breaths. You get a chance to really rest down, give up the last bits of tension that you can possibly give up, and you can really feel the breath filling the lungs. And when you've finished, you can bring your hands down, you can bring that right leg back towards the right side, just even yourself out, and you can either be still here in this kind of pentagon, legs and arms out, or if you feel like you need some movement, again you can come back to that windscreen wiping, very gently moving. I'll see if you need some movement or stillness now. And then we're actually going to do a nice little simple double leg twist. So bring your feet flat on the floor. We're going to twist the legs over to the left, but before we do that, we're going to shift the hips over to the right. So press the feet on the floor, lift the hips up and just move them over to the right. Then what you're going to do is bring your legs up towards you, towards your chest, and then curl the whole thing over to the left. And you can use your left hand just to weight that top leg over, without the costume, and then your right arm out. If it's too much for the right arm, the right shoulder might be hanging dangerously, you could keep your right arm on your right ribs. That's quite a nice position for it. You could keep it on the floor, but you can also prop a blanket over that, under that right shoulder. Your right leg, top leg can be free to move, and then you want to take away the sensation of holding yourself in place. Bit by bit, even the arms and the legs and everything kind of can let go a little bit. You can change position with the legs, maybe they want to be more straight, more bent, closer in, further away. So that you've just propped, you've made this shape with your bones. You haven't made this shape with your muscles. It's like you've created a shape by pulling bones away from each other or moving bones towards each other, and then rest. So your head is even part of this. You can be facing up to the sky, facing towards the left, facing towards the right, whatever feels good. Yeah. And very gently come back. And just come back to a position. You can have a rebound where you're still, maybe legs straight or legs bent. You can always have the feet wide and the inner knees touching. That's often quite soothing for the sacrum. Just enjoying the sensations of the kind of aftermath. And then if you want to do some movements, some windscreen wiping or anything that's going to make you more comfortable, you can do that. I seem to be stuck in my rebound. More and more relaxed as the yin effect moving over me. So we'll do those two poses on the other side. So we'll start from our crescent moon or banana asana. So my legs are at the outer corners of the mat. I'm going to move my left foot over to my right. I can keep it there. I can stack it on top, or I can bring the right foot over. See what works for you. Arms overhead. This time I'm going to take my left wrist with my right hand. I'm just going to move my upper body over, but I'm going to try and keep the back of the pelvis and the back of the shoulder girdle flat, so I'm not going into a twist. And I don't need to go very far to feel quite a strong stretch. And then as for the neck, you can again keep the face looking up. You can turn the head to the right, or you can bring the back of the head over to the right a little bit to add to that kind of banana shape. So just make your last adjustments. You can have something under this left shoulder if you want to. Arms as bent as straight as you want. And then just see if you can let go and just be here. Soften all the muscles. Just know that you've moved the bones away from each other without using the muscles. Maybe you've used the muscles to get there, but now you're just using the bones as props. Using gravity now to help you let go. delicious breaths in and out. And very gently unwinding yourself into your rebound, stillness. You can have the legs outstretched or the feet flat on the floor and the knees touching. Just taking time to absorb the energetic effects of the posture. And if you need some circulatory effects, or do some more windscreen wiping or anything else that feels good. And then we'll do our twist on the other side. So you're going to bend your legs, feet flat on the floor. We're going to be twisting over to the right, but I'm going to move the hips to the left first. So shifting the hips over to the left, and then lifting the knees into the chest, and then dropping the whole unit over to the right. And then I can use my right hand to just anchor the legs. Left arm can come out or onto my ribs, and I might want to pad the shoulder. And then we stay. And we try not to hold too tightly, struggling to stay in the pose. Just enough that you won't roll out of the pose. You can always use something heavy on top so that your arm can relax. You've got a bolster on the top leg. So we're just using the props to stay in that shape, but we want to avoid using muscles to keep us there so that the muscles can actually completely let go. back, some stillness for your rebound. A neutral position. Again, you've got a chance to do any wriggling and moving, circulating all of that through. Any kind of movement you want. And then you can settle down for a little bit of a Shavasana. You can take support, whatever support you want. You can have a bolster under your knees, under your thighs. You could have something under your head. You could cover yourself with a blanket. Oh, not today. Just allow yourself to absorb, to take in the full effect of the yin session. When you're ready to be still in Shavasana, it doesn't have to be on your back. You can rest on your tummy, on your side. Take whatever props you need. And then see if you can drop down into gravity. Letting the head become heavy. The shoulders and arms become heavy. Hands and fingers. Upper chest. Rib cage and lungs. Abdomen and spine. Whole of the pelvis. The legs and the knees. And the feet. Whole body. Whole body heavy. Sinking. Letting go. The breath supporting that process. The waves allowing you to drop a little bit deeper with each wave that rolls over you. waited for yourself for a few moments longer if you can. And I'll see you next time.